recording and streaming and studio mode, which I don't understand. Let's go here to properties. Huh? I guess. Huh. How is everybody doing? Is everybody doing good? So I thought I would do something new, but troubles with so 1 viewer, 3 followers, 0 subscribers. Okay. Next one. Let's get one more doc. Okay, I'm gonna need you to okay. Camera for so here's what I'm trying to find, right? So I'm trying to do more for the stream, right? So source. So let's do mm, 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 mm. I'm trying to figure this out. Because let's say I want to do another stream, right? I want to do multiple live streams, but I can't.
And last night in Brazil, pro-Bolsonaro supporters blocked roads, causing major delays, as you can see right here, and disruption in at least 19 states. So the groups are protesting the presidential election results that saw Bolsonaro lose to Lula da Silva. Now, police have called for the roadblocks in certain areas.
Amazing. Sorry, I'm checking emails. Amazing how that works. Really amazing. You know, let's get some.
This video is sponsored in part by Ren. 1 down, 434 to go. I'm just a kid, another citizen, who is often referred to as Mr. Beat. About 3 months ago, I called every U.S. representative in the country. It took me a long time to do that. 9 days, as a matter of fact. 9 freaking days.
So we have a Matthew Beatty and a Matt Beatty in our system. I was just wondering if either of those are you.
I am showing a few Matt Beatty.
There are currently 435 voting members of the House of Representatives, and yep, I called every single one.
sorry, but that mailbox is full. Please try again later. Thanks for calling. Goodbye.
I'm sure to pass along your message to the Congresswoman. She'd love to send you a written response if you'd like to see one.
That'd be great. Like if I get an email, that would be wonderful, even if it's short.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you so much, Matt, for calling.
Thank you, Mr. Beat. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for calling, Mr. B.
Have a great day, Mr. Beat.
Okay, you too. You may remember that I called every U.S. senator in the country, and I live streamed the whole thing. When I did that, I brought up many different issues, including issues that constituents in the chat were wanting to bring to their senators' attention. Well, this time I was laser focused on one specific bill that I think the majority of Americans would love to see passed. I wanted every single member of the House to be aware of and support H.R. 222, aka the Election Day Holiday Act. The bill would simply make Election Day a federal holiday and would automatically make it much easier for millions of Americans to get off work to vote. The bill was introduced in the House on January 6th, 2021, where it promptly died. January 6th, 2021. Something else happened that day, I think. Anyway, again, it was a bill I thought the majority of Americans, regardless of their party affiliation, could get behind. And it was simple. Yeah, I just wanted to pass along my support for a bill that would make Election Day a federal holiday.
Are you talking about the Election Day Holiday Act of 2021?
Yes, I am. It's H.R. 222, the Election Day Holiday Act. It was introduced last year but never voted on.
That is a good idea, actually.
I'm glad you agree. And let's first just get this out of the way. Not one member of the House actually answered. What can I say? I'm not surprised. And you're probably not surprised either. So I just talked to a member of their staff. There are at least 10,000 staffers who work in the U.S. House of Representatives, but most of the folks I talked to were unpaid interns. Most offices get at least 5,000 calls and emails each month, so they do have their work cut out for them. That said, one reason why it took so long for me to call every U.S. representative was because the vast majority of offices actually picked up the phone. When I called every U.S. senator in the country, 53 of the offices didn't pick up the phone, so I left 53 voicemails, and none of those calls were returned. However, of the 435 offices of representatives, 368 picked up. Not bad. Also, of the 67 offices that didn't pick up, 4 of them called me back within a couple days. So if I count those callbacks, I spoke with 86% of all offices of representatives. Much better than just the 47% of the Senate's offices picking up and speaking with me. So basically, based on this, you are almost twice as likely to get someone to answer the phone by calling your U.S. representative versus your U.S. senator. If I call the office of a representative you've heard of, their office probably didn't answer. The Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, left a voicemail. Ro Khanna, left a voicemail. Katie Porter, left a voicemail. Matt Gaetz, left a voicemail. Eric Swalwell, Jamie Raskin, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Jim Jordan, Tim Ryan, Liz Cheney, Adam Schiff, voicemails. Props to the offices of Kevin McCarthy, Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Ilhan Omar, though. They probably get a lot of haters calling them, but their offices all picked right up. At first, I was honest. I told them that I was calling every representative in the country and that I didn't live in the representative's district.
Oh, you're not a constituent.
No.
Matt, are you a constituent of the Congresswoman?
No, I'm outside the district.
Are you a part of our district?
No.
Okay. Well, it's unlikely that you'll usually hear back.
So it looks like you are outside the district, sir. Do you know who your representative is in Kansas?
Just because you're not in our district, it's unlikely that we can get your response within the next couple months. Although I can have you reach out to your congressman in your district regarding this same issue. Have you done that yet, sir?
No, I'm calling every member of Congress.
Okay, so that's fair. But what I can do is make sure that I pass the message along to the people in my office that will handle that sort of thing. It's just unlikely you'll get a response.
But once the staffer knew I didn't actually live in the district, they often went from, "How can I help you?" to, "Yeah, I don't give a crap what you say, but I will still be polite." Therefore, I began to lie. I'm sorry, Mom. I felt so guilty about this, but yes, I lied. I said I lived in the district of whatever representative I called.
And are you from the district?
Yes, zip code 90220. But then some were asking for my home address to prove I lived in their district, and I broke down and couldn't lie anymore.
Do you mind giving me your name and your residential address?
I'm calling I'm from outside of the district, so.
Okay.
Eventually, I found that I could get away with just giving them a zip code within the district for them to think I lived in the district.
Okay, and your zip code, please?
Yeah, 32212. So yeah, I spent an extra hour or two looking up random zip codes within districts across the country. That was fun. Also in the beginning, I made the mistake of asking the staffer if they knew what the congressperson's opinion was of HR 222. I was just calling to let Congressman Rogers know that I support Election Day being a federal holiday, and I was actually going to ask you if you knew if he did as well.
That is not something I know off the top of my head. I can ask someone else in the office about that issue.
I can kind of hear them talking about it.
Okay, I did speak with my legislative director, and he said that the Congresswoman does support making the Election Day a federal holiday.
Well, that took too much time, although I do appreciate the staffers sincerely trying to find out. So soon I realized it would be much more efficient if I just told each staffer to pass along my support of HR 222 to the representative. Yeah, I just wanted to pass along my support for HR 222, the Election Day Holiday Act. I called the office of Don Young, the former representative of the entire state of Alaska, but just as I was dialing, I remembered that he had died a few months prior and the seat was vacant.
Office of Alaska at large, how can I help you?
Yeah, there's nobody officially representing the state yet, right?
That's right.
Okay, can I still pass along a message for the next person to take the office?
It won't be the same staff, so I have no way to get it to them.
I embarrassed myself again a couple times when I called the office of New York's 19th District and New York's 23rd District. For the 19th District, I asked to pass along a message for Antonio Delgado, who I thought was their current representative. As it turns out, he had resigned a couple months before I called after becoming the Lieutenant Governor of New York.
Office of New York's 19th Congressional District, how may I help you?
Hi, yeah, I just wanted to pass along my support for a bill.
I'm not sure if you were made aware, sir, but our congressperson stepped down on May 25th. So currently we are no longer taking or advocating for positions of public policy.
Oops. For the 23rd District, I asked to pass along a message for Tom Reed, who again, I thought was their current representative. Yeah, he had also resigned in May after being accused of sexual misconduct. Look, it's hard for me, let alone anyone, to keep track of all 435 members of the House. The vast majority of my interactions with staffers was positive. Most of them were incredibly pleasant and seemed to be sincerely listening to me. I noted that at least 18 staffers repeated back to me what I had told them.
I can pass your comment in favor of making Election Day a federal holiday to the Congresswoman. Would you like a response from her?
6 even recognized me and said they had watched my videos.
Can I get your name?
Yes, Matt Beat, B-E-A-T.
Are you Mr. B YouTube channel?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Okay, I watch it. I'm a subscriber. So nice to hear you. But,
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks for watching. Matt Beat, B-E-A-T.
Wait. Mad Beat?
Yeah. You may have come across my YouTube stuff, maybe. I don't know.
Maybe it was a couple days ago. I just watched your Calling Every Senate video.
Yeah.
And you said that you called the representatives. And I was like, maybe, I wonder if I'll still be in the office by that time. But here we go. Just need to call.
That's awesome.
Did you say Matt Beat?
Yeah.
Like Mr. Beat?
Oh, yeah. Like the channel.
Oh my gosh. Wow, I am just an intern, but I am a huge fan of your channel.
So that was pretty neat. One was actually from Kansas's 4th district, which is where I grew up.
Mr. Beat!
Yes.
I've seen your videos.
Oh, holy crap, that's awesome. Unfortunately, I noted at least 32 staffers who obviously were not taking down my information, were downright rude, or at the very least, were clearly insincere and didn't give a crap about what I was saying.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for calling in, sir.
So, it has now been 3 months since I made all those calls. How many responses have I got back from actual U.S. representatives? Sadly, not many at all. But first of all, I should note that one of the representatives, Congresswoman Jackie Walorski of Indiana's 2nd District, died in a horrible car crash just a couple weeks after I called her. So I totally understand why she wasn't able to respond, and may she rest in peace. Also, some of those I called once again took the liberty of automatically signing me up for their representative's newsletter. Yay! I am now regularly getting newsletters from 13 different representatives across the country. That's clogging my inbox a bit. At the time of me recording this, which is in late October, I have only gotten 18 personal responses back. 18 out of 435 members of the House of Representatives. That's a 4% response rate. Incredibly, that's a worse response rate compared to when I called every U.S. senator. Not only that, 5 of the responses I got back had nothing to do with making Election Day a federal holiday. Representative David Kustoff of the 8th District of Tennessee emailed me about a bill to suspend tariffs on imported baby formula. Okay. And Representative Matt Rosendale of Montana.
Your grandmother will see you in hell.
Anna emailed me to rant and rave about the 2020 election and the For the People Act, H.R. 1, which I did not mention when I called his office. Representative Tom Cole of Oklahoma's 4th District emailed me about the Voter ID Act. Huh? Representative Ann Kirkpatrick of Arizona's 2nd District sent me literally just a generic response that she probably sends to everyone else who contacts her office. Thank you for sharing your opinions on the issues that are most pressing to you. Then, of course, she goes on about stuff that has nothing to do with making Election Day a federal holiday. Representative Al Lawson of Florida's 5th District also sent me a generic response, but a much shorter one. Thanks, Al. Representative Brian Mast of Florida's 18th District had someone else respond on his behalf. I mean, that's basically what they told me on the phone. The other personal responses were pretty sincere, though, although there was still quite a bit of copy pasta. I do want to give out a shout out to the best responses. Peter Welch, the lone representative of Vermont, went straight to the point, cutting out all the crap. it was a great response. Representative Brian Stile of Wisconsin's 1st District, Representative French Hill of Arkansas's 2nd District, and Representative Lloyd Smucker of Pennsylvania's 11th District all disagreed with me, but all three gave a thoughtful explanation why they thought Election Day shouldn't be a federal holiday. But just one thing, Lloyd.
Mr. Dietz?
And finally, Representative Jim Cooper of Tennessee's 5th District. Well, he called me Matt Beater, but still gave a wonderful response. But that's basically it. There was no personal video this time. That means of all 535 members of Congress, Cory Booker remains the only one to send me a personal video response, which obviously was above and beyond. I still can't believe he did that. So here were my biggest takeaways from this experience. First of all, the more high profile the congressperson, the less chance you'll be heard by them. In my opinion, many of these high profile congresspeople seem to have higher ambitions than just representing their districts. They make lots of public appearances. They tend to talk trash and be provocative on Twitter. They love getting attention whenever possible. Frankly, I'm not that impressed by these high profile members of the House. I am more impressed by all the ones we don't hear from in the media all the time. You know, the ones who don't seek out fame. The ones who quietly do their job every day, seemingly doing their best to follow up with their constituents, discussing bills in committees, and writing and passing bills they are passionate about. One such congressman is Mark Takano, who represents California's 41st District, and who I had the privilege of interviewing earlier this year.
There's a lot of meetings, and then usually there's at least once and sometimes twice a day that I have to go to the floor for a vote series. Depending on what time of year it is, I'm voting maybe 10, 12 measures. I have my little voting card that's in my pocket right here. I keep in this little wallet. And it looks like an ID card, but it's got a little chip on it. And I put it in the voting machine where it registers my vote. There's a green for yes, a red for no, and a yellow for present.
As the congressman went on and on about what his typical day looked like, I found myself growing a bit bored. But hold up, okay, that's not really a bad thing. Members of Congress ought to be boring. After all, a lot of times it's the boring ones who get meaningful stuff done, not the performers. Speaking of boring representatives, none of the Kansas representatives got back to me. This includes my representative, the dude who is supposed to represent me here in the 2nd District of Kansas. Okay, we've made it. We've made it to my congressman.
Congressman Jacob Turner's office, this is can I help you?
Yeah, I just wanted to pass along my support for a bill that would make Election Day a federal holiday.
Sure.
Election Day Holiday Act, you find it? I don't know if you know it.
Yeah, I'm going to look it up now, and I will I'll be sure to pass along your message to the congressman.
Sure. Can I get a response of whether or not he supports it?
Sure. I am not sure at the moment, but I will mark down and have our staff reach out to you with the response.
Okay, great.
All right. You have a great day.
You want to get my contact information? Now, I realize Jake LaTurner has 716,000 constituents to represent, but I bet the vast majority of those 716,000 people haven't contacted him. It's been 3 months, Jake. I can't even get...
One of the funny things is, so my old representative, Jason Crow, had one of his staffers reach out to me. What time? And it was about the Tom Cotton issue on Twitter. And most people wouldn't understand that, you know, what you're a fucking scumbag, Tom Cotton. You go through a program for a school, a leadership school. You don't go into the actual battalion and then you want to call yourself a ranger. Now, I like how you tweaked and qualified after that. Still, that was a scumbag move. And it's kind of funny because I would love, for my old representatives media team to get back with me again. But probably won't happen. But I did get responses back from, let's see here, let me see if I can do So here's one from Michael Bennett about the Lumbee tribe in North Carolina. And I like how he does it, because he actually, whoever does his research, just understands that we have three, well, so they said the Southern Indian tribe, but it's a nation. And the nation is actually three different war bands. Or three different bands, I should say. No war bands anymore, but bands. So, we have two from Colorado. And then, 35 individual tribal nation members live throughout our state. And so, I, wanted to help out the Lumbee. So, let's see what else I got here. And then another one. Responding to your message. And then I got one from John Hickenlooper. And it seems standard, but I don't think so. And the reason why is because John Hickenlooper is the only politician I have met twice. I met him as the mayor of Denver, and then I met him as the governor of Colorado. And both times I was a sassy little mofo when it came to it. So I just thought that was funny. And let's see. I wonder if I can do Alright. So, but he was the only one I know who I met twice. Once as a mayor, the other one as a governor. And I would give him the business, and
Get a short.
It was pretty funny. It was pretty funny. I'm not gonna lie at all. I was outspoken as a young man, and still am what the what?
Emailed response.
Still am.
I need to know, where do you stand on making Election Day a federal holiday? Then again, perhaps he has not responded to me because I do troll him on Twitter from time to time. Still, my own freaking representative didn't get back to me. My third takeaway is that I was indeed impressed by how easy it actually was to reach a staffer. The phone rarely rang more than once before someone picked up to speak with me. That was awesome. Still, an unpaid intern answering to listen to your concerns is one thing. Getting an actual response from a representative is another thing. Which brings me to my final takeaway. Before this experience, I assumed that the House of Representatives was the part of the federal government that was the most directly connected with ordinary folks like you and I. Well, how naive I was. That's not true at all. I mean, the response rate was better from senators, for crying out loud. I assumed I would get way more than just 18 responses from representatives. I do get why representatives can't make much time for constituents. The average representative is supposed to represent 759,000 people. But, as I said in my follow-up video to calling every senator, I know these representatives make time for their campaign donors, and I know they make time for lobbyists who bribe them. So I ask again.
I'll be right back.
Why can't they make time for us? This whole experience of calling every member of Congress has really got me questioning everything I once believed with regards to how the federal government functions. I used to naively believe that, we live in a constitutional republic, and so our representatives are beholden ultimately to us. They are the public servants. We hire them, we fire them, and they listen to us constantly. But now, I'm just not so sure. In fact, lately it seems like
they don't represent us at all.
Climate change is terrifying to me, and I often feel helpless. After all, I'm not a corporation. I'm just a person. What can I do? Well, as it turns out, there is something I can do to make a difference, and you can too. Wren is a simple and effective way to make a difference in the climate crisis. Wren is a website where you can calculate your carbon footprint, then offset it by funding a diverse mix of carbon reduction projects like tree planting and mineral weathering. You just answer a few questions about your own lifestyle, and Wren will let you know your carbon footprint and show you how to reduce it. Once you sign up to make a monthly contribution to offset your carbon footprint, Wren will send you monthly updates from the projects you support. I'm particularly impressed with Wren's Clean Cooking Fuel for Refugees project. Just this one project has prevented thousands of acres of deforestation each year and helped provide clean cooking fuel for over 1 million refugees. Heck yeah. Wren gives you a great way to actually make a difference. Offset your carbon footprint with Wren. The first 100 people to sign up using the link in the description of this video will get 10 trees planted in their name. Oh, thanks to Wren for sponsoring this video. Done. I am done. By the way, I have once again created a spreadsheet with all the details about which representatives responded, which answered the phone, which were rude, which were nice, who knew me, etc. You can find a link to that spreadsheet in the description of this video, and yes, I will continue to update it if I still get responses. On a final note, I don't want you to get discouraged after watching this. I want you to keep contacting your representatives. Be persistent. Keep fighting. Don't give up. Okay? We must be loud. We must bug the crap out of them.
she was supposed to call me and wake me up so I could get ready to be over there by 10. And I thought it was her calling at 8 o'clock this morning, but it was her mom calling looking for her because Kiave was in there tearing shit up, throwing the ass fit.
How many kids does she have now?
She only has 2 kids.
Just Kiave and
Lenasia.
Okay. I only remember her with one kid. Was she a baby when she was in the project?
Yeah, she was pregnant with Lenasia.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so she, I guess, she went to her sister's early this morning to babysit her niece.
Yeah.
And didn't tell nobody she was leaving.
Yeah. So, you just waking up, or you been up?
So, I got up about, 2 hours ago? I didn't lay down. I laid down at 8:30.
Yeah.
I actually laid down. I fell asleep in the bathroom with the hairdryer on my head. That's what this is. It's a cap and you put a hose on it, and it's okay, yeah, it's a hairdryer. So I fell asleep in here with it on my head.
Did it fuck your hair up?
No.
That's good.
Yeah, I know, because my hair was wet anyway.
Yeah.
And
Did you wake up with your head all hot?
yeah, I woke up hot as fuck. Because I took it into the living room with me. And I sit up in there and I turned it on, I laid down. And yeah, I woke up just pouring sweat. Hot as fuck when I woke up. But I have to have, in order to keep my braids curled, I put them in rollers and then I wet it. And then I put this on and I have to sit under the heat for a day or 2. And then keep them curled. Oh, for a while, yeah.
Is it synthetic hair that you got in, or is it real human hair?
It's synthetic.
Oh shit. Is that shit harder to take care of?
No, not really.
I remember I used to buy my ex wigs and stuff, and synthetic, the real shit was like more expensive.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like that shit like $200-$300 for a whole wig.
Yep. Like, when I do, I've never worn a wig, but when I do the weave, I usually I prefer human hair, because human hair is easier to take care of, it lasts longer. Whereas synthetic hair, that shit tangles, and it doesn't blend right with my hair. It looks plastic to me, I can tell. I'll use one that's a mix of human and synthetic. I don't mind using that one. But I prefer human hair, and I don't need a whole bunch with just having a mohawk. But it's the kind I prefer to get is $80 a pack. The one I just had, actually, I didn't mind that one too much, and that one was actually pretty cheap, but it did good. You couldn't see.
It usually lasts for?
It just depends. This time, it only lasted 2 months because I did it in the summer and it was so hot.
Yeah.
Because I glue it in, I don't sew them in, I glue them in.
So the glue melts and shit? Yeah, that makes sense.
And I don't know, I mean, you can wash your hair with it, but I don't know how to do all that, so. Without messing it up, anyway.
Yeah.
So, and it took me forever to get all that fucking glue out of my hair, dude. Because, to get it out, there's an oil that you put in to loosen up the glue to pull the weave out.
Yeah.
And then there's a shampoo that you use that dissolves the rest of the glue residue, and you gotta comb it out. And I combed my hair out prior to shampooing it, which was a bad idea.
That shit pull a bunch of hair out, or what? Yeah.
Yeah, and I found a big ass chunk of glue that I missed. So after you get your, we don't have to, but yeah, that's for sure. He's got his meeting for that tomorrow. I wish I could attend somewhere. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. I don't want to get out of there, and I'm gonna push out. Why? Really? Oh, damn. They don't have you guys in dorms in CRDC? They just have you in regular cells? Right. What do you mean? Man, I gotta go nuts and let myself out. He's just saying something.
So it's not so much 23 because you have visiting hours that you can visit somebody. So, yeah, I mean somewhat. So I looked it up for DRDC, and it's not always electronic. You have to. Which, by the way, the link that they gave me to go electronic to register Bristol for you was BS. I had to use 2 different browsers and it still didn't come up. So, yeah. So, the phone, her being at the facility, you guys doing it by video like this, but, 2 different registers, like how the city one is. That was the link I was trying to go to, but I think Disney is technically in person over there. I think so. Yeah, I think I have to wait for you to get there. And then, well, you're gonna have to put her on the list. To get approved. I think so. The instructions itself. Is inmate dependent. So I think for actual visiting, you just have to put her on approved visiting. And you have to wait for the judgment to see if you're able to visit. I believe it's face to face. The video visiting, I'll have to keep looking at that link and trying to register all that down. Well, I'm going to.
I didn't know he was doing it either.
Helps the both of you out. I know, I don't, I wasn't trying to tell her anything for surprise, So, yeah, and, it, from what I'm looking into it, it's the now alternative to, or it's an in-processing facility. So, but I don't think you're actually going to go into the certain facility. Everybody will get you there until the script will be. So, I think so. Well, because you don't have much more time. So,
Someone was telling me here that people with short sentences, it makes them do most of their time. Like he said, he just did 14 months on an 18-month sentence.
Okay.
So I'm trying, like, I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for that, but then it's like, what's all fun is the 33% law, you know?
Well,
Like, this race that I got signed up, you know, my shit's non-violent, so I should only do 33% of my time.
well, you got to remember too. That's all on program and behavior and all that too.
Yeah, I ain't got no write-ups here. I ain't got no issues here. You know, like, everything I do here follows me to the joint. Everything I do here follows me to prison.
Yeah.
And I got nothing I did, you know, I'm just, according to them, in their eyes, I'm a model inmate. But they don't know no person, you know?
They a model inmate.
Yeah, for real, though. I stick to myself, run my own business, and, you know, there's issues that we handle it, but, you know, it's not like, oh, I was open house, some people should be done, and they get write-ups, and they get in trouble and all that, you know? But yeah, that's good.
Well, I also watch out too, because remember, it's monitored and recorded. So.
Oh yeah, I know, but I think it was good. It's not like I didn't do anything.
No.
Yeah.
But you know how fun. You know how fun. You know how fun deputies are.
Thank you so much, Ian. I appreciate you.
Oh yeah, no problem. No problem.
I'll be out this soon.
Oh yeah, you should.
Hey, sis.
What?
Can you send that song to me?
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that today, after I do others, after I finish everything else I'm gonna do today.
Oh, wow, your hair's on the side.
But that
I
current,
like that. Yeah, I like that. That's nice.
that's how it's all gonna look.
Nice. Yeah, if you send that one, can you send, one more?
Yeah, what's the other one?
Let's see. I'm trying to think of the name. It's, Yellow Beanie. You know who that is?
No.
It's Yella, like yelling, like Yella, Y-E-L-L-A.
Yeah.
It's B-E-B-E-E-B-Y, and it's called Up One.
Yep, easy up one.
Yeah, you got your tablet right there?
Yeah.
Can you put it on real quick?
Yeah.
That way you have to search I go to.
Not you really do mine in the channel.
No. You have that put one in the phone.
Mine knows it. Yeah, the neighbor's dog is on milk and it's irritating. I didn't read the jump back. We had a deer trapped behind our house the other day. Yeah. No, the dog scared it off. The dog scared it off. Yeah, Queen Rosalie. Queen and Rosalie scared it off. Because I came outside, I heard them barking, so I went outside, and there's a doe just standing there staring at us. And I got them to calm down, and she walked off calmly. 10 minutes later, they're howling again, so I run back outside, and when I came out, they both darted at her. They both took off toward the deer, and she got spooked and ran off. But my gate was between us and the deer, so.
Yeah, they couldn't attack it.
Yeah.
Was it a deer or a doe?
A doe? What's the name of the song? Bambi. Bambi is a deer. Bambi is a boy.
Bambi didn't have horns though.
Bambi was a baby. Then he was still a boy.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, baby deers do. Until they get their horns.
Alright, I'm back. Let's see here. Alright, let's do this.
Do my eyebrows look okay? Which I do. I can't stand having I hate it.
Alright, here we go. Let me come back here. Back to gameplay.
You know how to do the framing?
Okay.
I don't, but I see a lot of girls in jail doing it. That's where I learned. That's where I learned about threading is in jail, and now every salon does that shit out here. But yeah, they just took like an elastic or a piece of thread from the sock.
Let's see something about CNFKRZ.
Hey there, guys, I have a question for you. How does one man go from this...
Вот вы считаете, что Украина это ничтожная страна, которую можно оттяпать какой-то Крым, да, который вы почему-то решили, что он ваш. Ввести войну на Донбассе.
To this.
Сука, этой страны не должно быть. И мы сделаем все, чтобы ее не было. Мы сожжем вашу конституцию, блядь, прямо на Крещатике.
Or maybe should I say, how does one man go from this...
Anton Krasovsky here hosting a Russian TV show. Earlier this year, he came out on air in front of everybody watching, including his bosses. It was a hugely controversial decision and one that cost him his job.
To this.
Значит, что я хочу сказать по поводу закона об Господи, я даже не могу уже выговорить это вот все ЛГБТ-пропаганде. Хотим ли мы, чтобы в России детей в 12 лет делали трансгендерами? Я понимаю, что я этого не хочу.
I guess the answer is pretty simple, by selling his soul. Hello Blazers, it is your boy Roman, your favorite neighborhood Russian. How guys doing today? Welcome to a brand new video, and in today's video guys, we're gonna be talking about a person who in my opinion is the most despicable Russian propagandist that is alive today. And that person is a man named Anton Krasovsky. Now if you guys follow the news regarding Russia and Ukraine, you might have actually seen this guy in the news recently because, well, how can I put it? This guy has had some very questionable comments that he said live on the air, and essentially now everybody's canceling him, including his own network, his own Russian propaganda network RT that he's on. But aside from being a Russian propaganda pundit and a maniac that calls for genocide, Anton Krasovsky is also a massive grifter. In a span of 7-8 years, this guy has basically switched from being an anti-Putin liberal and an LGBT activist who's openly gay to essentially being a pro-Kremlin Z homophobe. The thing is that every single Russian propaganda pundit is basically a grifter who probably deep down doesn't actually believe what they're saying. Just take Vladimir Solovyov for example. This guy is literally Russia's biggest propaganda pundit, Russia's biggest propaganda journalist, who's super Z, you know, he wants to take over and destroy Ukraine, you know, he's all for the denazification of Ukraine or whatever. But if you look up old videos of him and what he said about Ukraine in the past, it's actually very curious.
Я вам так скажу, никакой войны России с Украиной никогда не будет, потому что любой человек, который на полном серьезе попытается осуществить такого рода акт, является преступником, притом я не могу себе представить, какого размера.
Very interesting. I wonder why he would say that. Let's roll another one.
Я понимаю вопрос. Не дай бог, а зачем вам Крым? Когда мы говорим, а вот давайте Хрущев отдал, мы присоединим, но Хрущев же отдал абсолютно легитимно. Если мы вдруг говорим, это значит война. Вы хотите воевать с Украиной?
Ooh, yeah, this doesn't look good for him at all, right? And this was actually, this was like